We're a mile and a half offshore. Grace and I just paddled on the surfboards. And we just landed our first fish in California. We'll take you back to the house and walk you through every step of the way. I'm Luka, we got Grace behind the camera, and welcome back to the Dolmens. All right, what's going on, guys? Just back at our crib now. And we're out here in the beautiful Southern California, San Diego to be exact. We've had an epic past 6 months or so. We've been targeting some dogtooth tuna in Indonesia. Thank you guys for all your support on our recent documentary. That's been incredibly motivating and just super humbling that we're kind of starting to build this little bit of community now. But we just got off a 2-month stint in Hawaii, filmed some footage out there, and now we're gonna go full tilt on our Southern California series. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly what we do. I've actually personally never been able to dive in California. This is gonna be my first dive ever in a couple hours here coming up. But I'm super stoked, this is gonna be exciting. New experience for me, some colder water, some worse visibility, but I'm up for it, man. This is gonna be sick. Grace and I both rock the Polo Sub Italy Forza Tray wetsuit. So it's a smooth skin outside. It's got a layer in between the open cell on the inside that keeps you nice and warm, and it's durable. So these are both our 3mm suits. We wear this in Hawaii, so this is gonna be super interesting to see how Grace and I hold up to this California water. Got our masks loaded up, and then let's take you to the weapon of choice for today's episode. We got the Orca Kumu 120. It's 120 centimeter barrel length. You guys will see this gun featured in one of our Hawaiian episodes. I've absolutely fallen in love with this piece of machinery. Incredibly built, strong, powerful. And I think that 120 is gonna be a perfect size for what we're trying to accomplish out here in Southern California. It's gonna be small enough to kind of maneuver through some of those beautiful kelp forests that I keep seeing, yet powerful enough to take down some of those bigger species, that white sea bass and that yellowtail. Those are kind of the two trophies out here. We're definitely not in season for it yet. We're still a little bit early, but that's good. We're gonna be targeting. We're hoping for a couple of early birds coming up all the way north. Got the cooler already loaded down. Yeti, where you guys at, man? And you guys already know we're rocking that pelagic gear. Thank you for all your support. You guys have been incredible, and we're stoked to kind of take you guys on this next journey with us. Okay, car's loaded down. We got Grace with us now. Just one bag of ice because we're not too stirred on the spot yet.
It's funny how Luka and I have traveled to some of the most remote places in the world, and yet we've never had the chance to dive together in my backyard.
Happy camper right there.
We've heard stories of how good California diving can be, and I've landed some big yellowtail in the past, but we didn't really know what to expect as we were a few months out of the season and just coming off some heavy storms.
Boom. We're ready for action. Okay, we made it. Hopefully you can hear me in the GoPro. It's a little windy.
With the potential of very poor visibility and the ever-pressing thought of a great white swimming around you, we were definitely on edge driving down to the spot. We quickly got our gear together, sent the drone up to do a quick viz check, then made our way down to the beach where we would begin a 1.5 mile paddle out on the wave storms out to a local kelp bed.
Trying to just go out there with both boards and on the UAC?
Yeah, so I'm gonna head out there with the boards. Grace has the gear. As you can see, it's a little bit swelly. A little windier than we'd like, but we're gonna send it anyway. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Straight up.
Yeah, we made it past first set of breakers on soft tops. Saving every dollar we have to try and get a sailboat. So this is our mode of transportation for now, but it's gonna work out. It's gonna be sick. Wind is definitely a little bit windy. Conditions don't look too optimal, but spirits are high. Arms are a little bit tired. All right, we've got our first visual of the kelp bed. It's still a little bit windy, but it's blowing us onshore, so that's pretty sweet. It's gonna be a free ride back home. Just got to the kelp. It's looking beautiful. This is my first time seeing this type of stuff. Pretty worked out, but we got Grace up there, the big camera. We're gonna find the upcurrent edge, try to find some bait. Let's get active here. You drop in here, and the first thing that hits you isn't the fish, it's the conditions. The water's cold, reading high 50s on our watches. Luckily, the surface conditions are very manageable, with low winds and the thick kelp interrupting a longer period swell. Southern California has a very vast coastline, and it can be very difficult when you're diving in a new place for the first time to try and find the right areas to hit. It's a big ocean. As fishermen, all we're trying to do is make it a little bit smaller. Before we start diving, I'm taking everything into account and reading the water, trying to put together this new environment. I'm figuring out which direction the tide's moving, and once I've locked in on a direction, we begin making our way to the upcurrent side of the kelp, constantly scanning for sardines and anchovies. Dirty water with life usually means opportunity. We're just gonna have to get up close and personal today.
On my first drop of the day, I just wanted to scout out the bottom and get a feeling for this new environment. The water is cold, stinging my face as I start my descent. I level out 10 feet from the bottom as something behind the kelp catches my eye.
I could see Grace lining up on something, but I couldn't quite make it out from where I was positioned. She pulled the trigger, and I was so fired up to see that she had landed a beautiful sheephead. What a sick dive to get the day started. As we're swimming, we're always looking for a change. A sandy patch next to a pile of rocks, or a ledge with an upwelling that's concentrating bait into one area. These beautiful stalks of kelp make for some of the craziest diving I've ever done. First drop!
It's legal, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. 12 inches.
Another eyeball shot!
Wow! Hold it up! Nice. Yeah, Gracie!
It's really stuck in there.
Yeah, I'll get him.
As I was extracting the shaft, a huge ball of anchovies came in. You could tell they were skittish, so we were hoping a yellowtail had pushed them into the kelp. Unfortunately, nothing came through, so Luka took a dive on a promising section of the reef.
My eyes were wide open with anticipation as Grace landed that sheephead. The first one I've ever seen in person. I started my dive down along the kelp, using it almost as a free dive line to guide me to the bottom of the ocean. A decent calico bass came to say hi, but I was so in awe I was just taking in my surroundings and I wasn't ready for him. The kelp forest really takes your breath away, especially backlit by the sunlight. When my head came back around, I saw a pair of glowing lips way out the back that looked irresistible. Somehow, I hit him super thin and knew he wouldn't stay on the shooting line for long if I didn't get him under control. Unfortunately, as I was bringing him in, my big fear was recognized as he ripped off.
There's something about diving a new spot for the first time. You're out there completely blind. You don't know where the fish are, how the current works, how deep the kelp goes, or how the bottom shapes up. Every dive is a puzzle. You're testing and analyzing everything. How the kelp moves, where the fish might be hiding, or what the structure is doing on the bottom of the ocean. At first, it's tense. You second guess every move, visibility might be low, and the water's cold. So every mistake feels magnified. But slowly, you start reading it. You start noticing how and where the bait stacks, how the sheephead hugged the rocks and urchin beds. When a fish finally shows up in a spot you've never been, there's this rush, because you've earned that sighting by feeling it out, by being patient, by paying attention. It's a mix of anxiety, doubt, and adrenaline all at once. That first dive in a new place is messy, humbling, and thrilling, more than any familiar spot.
Compared to some of the diving that Grace and I have done around the world, this spot is very shallow, only around 45 to 50 feet. So we decided to drop together to try and learn this new environment as one. Each drop is heavily analyzed, with every detail being uncovered. We'd made some solid ground, and slowly came to the realization that what we were looking for simply wasn't there. We knew that we were too early in the year, so we concentrated all our energy into rocky outcrops on the bottom of the ocean, targeting sheephead. They seemed to be everywhere on the structure, rocks, reef edges, inside the kelp. But there's a difference between shooting the first fish you see and actually shooting a good one. Big males seem to hang in the back, usually a little deeper or tucked into structure. You've got to pass on the easy shots if you want something worth taking. On my last drop, a nice fish presented an opportunity. Threading the needle through a large school of opali, I managed to place a nice holding shot and bring home what we would later discover to be a beautiful eating fish. We're just gonna end our dive now. Grace got a nice sheep's head. I got
a nice sheep's head. It was so beautiful. It got really cold in our 3 mils. I wish we had 5 mil out here.
3 mils are not enough. We need the 5 for sure.
Lost one of our boards with one of the fish on it, so we're gonna go chase it down.
Cheers on the sheep's head. We did it. Long swim. Too early in the season. How many thicker suits are freezing?
So cold.
So much fun though.
My board was washed ashore with my fish intact. I don't know how.
First fish in Cali. First dive. Pretty epic day for the beginning of March. A couple of nice fish. This is my first fish in California. Grace
My third.
has landed a few nice yellowtail, but definitely early in the season, no yellowtail or white sea bass spotted, but still an epic day. So much fun to get out there finally. And
Look, keep watching for the catch and cook.
keep watching for the catch and cook. Catch and cook's coming soon. Okay, we just made it back to the truck. As you can see, the conditions have definitely deteriorated. Wind's picked up in the afternoon, and that's kind of a common trend that we're noticing on this side of the world is you get an afternoon westerly. So we're gonna plan accordingly for next time. But Grace and I had a great dive. We had a successful dive. We managed to get my first California species, the California sheep's head. But what I wanna do now is just kind of talk with you guys a little bit about fish identification and sizing. So for me, this is a brand new species. And in the water, especially in this bad viz, it's incredibly difficult to try to figure out the size limits because these have to be 12 inches this time of year. So I just want to measure them quickly. I have a little bit of a idea when I'm in the water next time. So this one's 17 inches. So they have to be 12, so that's good to know. That big one that I lost must have been at least 24, 25. But rad, that's sick. We're starving. We're gonna go back to the house right now. Gracie, you hungry?
Extremely.
And we're gonna figure out what type of recipe to cook up with these guys, but I'm gonna get them on some ice. Good thing we bought some ice. And we will see you guys back at the house, cooking these guys up. Okay, we are 24 hours after getting out of the water. It's now the next day. We had our fish on ice in a salty water brine, nice and firmed up in the cooler. We're just gonna whack the fillets off super quick and then make a super nice ceviche fish taco recipe. I love filleting a nice and firmed up fish. This is gonna be like a million times easier to cut up than if it was super fresh. So here you go, Grace. We got our paper towel and our Ziploc bags to bag the fish. Let's do it. Grace got her big old knife there.
Oh my god.
Such a short knife.
Killed this with a 120. God, never mind.
Beauty.
My first fillet.
Done.
Guys, yours?
Yeah. Sheep's head. First California fish. This is our first time catching this species, and we've read some reviews online that are talking about how the fish's meat is so delicate. So a lot of people, let me try not to get stabbed by my wife, that a lot of people make fish burgers out of it just because the meat is really difficult to fillet because it's so soft. But as you can see, we're making quick work of this just because it's so cold. Really beautiful white meat. I'm looking forward to trying it. We like to give the carcasses normally back to the water so all the little crabs and everything can kind of complete the circle of life. But Scott, Grace's dad, is making a little garden in the back, and we're gonna use the frames for create some solid dirt back there. So she's going back to the Ina.
Second fillet.
It wasn't a race, but if it was a race, I won.
It's not about the speed, it's about the quality. Or it's about the...
What do you guys think? Who did a better job?
Okay, you know what?
Let us know in the comments.
No.
Let us
It's
know
not
in the
fair,
comments.
you're done.
Let us know in the
Just
comments.
wait for the finish.
To be fair, she had a big 12-inch tuna knife that she's trying to cut a 16-inch fish on.
17. Right?
Okay, we whipped those sheephead fillets off. We got them in our bag. We're gonna toss this in the refrigerator, and we're gonna come back to it in like 3 or 4 hours for some dinner. We're just gonna return the carcasses back to the Ina right now.
All right, we're just gonna put these into the garden and hopefully get some nice soil soon.
We are now back in the kitchen for another installment of Cooking with Gracie. She's gonna run you through how we're gonna cook this guy up.
Okay, so we're gonna do half of it ceviche and half fish tacos. So like Luka said, we have our dried and clean fillets that we're just gonna make into some ceviche. So I'm gonna cut all these limes up, put the fish in here to cook for about 30 minutes while we prepare all the veggies and seasonings. So we just did a smell test. And it smells like absolutely nothing.
And what does that mean?
We did a good job.
Okay.
Your fish should not be smelling fishy. It should be smelling like nothing. So what I'm gonna do is I got this fillet, and I'm just gonna chop it up into like little pieces, kind of just to match like the size of these cucumbers and what I'll dice all the veggies to be, so it's just a nice bite.
The doggos know the game plan.
We now have all of the sheep head all diced up. We're just gonna juice all these lemons and let it sit for a while.
Did it get ya?
These are from my grandma's garden. So they're very nice, fresh, very juicy.
Au natural.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, as Grace is cooking that sheephead up in the ceviche, I'm noticing that her knife's a little bit dull. So I'm gonna walk you guys through quickly how to sharpen a knife. So this is a Syrax 1000 grit stone. I'm gonna soak it in some water. All you need is your knife, a wet paper towel so that the stone doesn't fly anywhere. I've got my water just to keep the stone wet. Soaked in water for like 10 minutes. This thing's gonna be nice and wet. And I'm gonna get that 15 to 20 degree angle and just rub like that of approximately 50 to 60 times. As I'm making my passes, my elbow is staying locked, and this is kind of just one full arm extension. My right arm is applying enough pressure on the knife where I don't really need to use much pressure on my left hand. This is more just to guide the knife, and I'm moving that pressure up and down the angle of the knife. I'm gonna continue doing that until I feel what's called a burr on this side, and then I'm gonna switch, put it in my left hand, and do the same thing. When I start feeling a burr on both sides, I'm gonna do what's called a deburr. So I'm just gonna go pull the knife into one direction, just like that. Do that approximately 30 to 40 times, and then I'm gonna cut some paper and show you guys if it's sharp or not.
Okay, we're gonna demonstrate Luka's knife sharpening skills.
Let's go.
I'm just gonna see if we have enough juice. Yep, perfect. Just wanna make sure that's all coated. And we're gonna put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes or till it turns like nice and white. For the fish tacos, we're gonna do a garlic parmesan crusted fish. So I just have this minced garlic. Just gonna throw it in with the breadcrumbs. And then get a nice little handful of parmesan. Just gonna mix that together and then do an egg wash into the crumbs and then just pan fry it. Eat some eggs for the wash. Butter in the pan. Just gonna put them on. The smell coming from this.
About a 15-minute update on the ceviche. Still got some time to go, but she's looking good. I wish I could tell you how good this banana bread smells. She has banana bread in the oven. And it is amazing. I don't even want the fish, I just want the banana bread.
Are you guys ready to see the most beautiful banana bread I've ever seen? Let me know if you want the recipe to this instead of some fish.
Mine, screw the fish, mine. Give me some banana bread for dinner.
Knife check. Shining colors. We just pulled the ceviche out of the fridge. It's nice and white, means it's cooked. So I'm just gonna drain a little bit of the lemon juice out. I personally like to keep a little bit. I know you're supposed to like take it all out, but I think it tastes delicious. A little bit of lemon juice. So we're just gonna carefully pour some out.
Shut up, allergic gear.
So just about that much is left in there. And then you're just gonna add your ingredients. So I'm gonna go in with
Dogs know what's happening.
some red onion, some chopped tomatoes, cucumber, some avocado. Give that a nice mix. I'm also gonna add some salt and pepper. You can add garlic, onion powder, even some like spice, chili, paprika. That's a taste test. Should we do that's a taste test?
Yeah, let's go ahead and taste this.
Oh my gosh, this looks so amazing. We're getting real fancy out here. Got some edible flowers. And you have sheephead ceviche.
Beauty.
We're gonna do a taste test with some tortilla chips. Let you guys know how it compares to tacos. We're going to assemble our tacos. The ceviche is taking longer
And we
than we thought,
expected.
so we're just gonna go for it.
Wow, look how beautiful that came out. Thank you so much, Gracie.
So we have that Parmesan garlic breadcrumb crust on the sheephead.
Delicious.
Smells so good. It's our first time trying this recipe and this fish, so we're super excited.
We were excited to see how it held up.
Yeah, everyone
frying.
said it's firm.
Everyone says it's firm, but this is like the softest fish I've ever seen.
It's falling apart.
Literally falling apart. That's why it's important to kind of do your own research and figure it out for yourself. Because look at that, it's like literally crumbling. It's awesome.
Okay, so our ingredients, I'm gonna go in with some avocado.
Avocado, thank you.
Some sour cream. And then I'm gonna go in with some of those tomatoes and onion from ceviche. I'm sure we'll have some extras.
I'm sticking with my sour cream avocado and fish. I'm a simple man. Wow, that looks amazing. Mine doesn't look as beautiful as Grace's, but there's
some color in there, it's an upgrade.
Look at hers. Wow. Master at work. Okay, I mean, mine, you can make that thing look pretty all you want.
Okay, I'm scared.
Me too.
It's so soft.
Really it's so soft.
Mmm.
They eat a lot of lobster, crab, sea urchin. I think it's really good. It's fantastic.
It's not firm at all. It's the farthest from firm.
Go a lot more sheephead. This is a smaller one though. I'd be interested to see how a bigger one tastes. It's a good fish. Here we go. Fully plated, beautiful looking California sheephead ceviche. Cooked by the legend, Grace Catherine. We're gonna give it a taste test right now. I'm not the biggest ceviche fan personally. I've had a bad experience with ceviche, but Grace has convinced me to.
I love ceviche.
Get back on the train here. Looks incredible. Cheers. Thank you.
You have a flower.
Can I eat it?
Yeah. I love it.
The taste of freshness is a real description word. It's not even like... Fresh tasting is a real thing, and that tastes super fresh. Super clean, light.
It's so refreshing because most of the fish we eat are like fried, hot, even like sushi, and the lighter kind of fish is still rice and stuff, so it's so nice to have like a cold,
Yeah,
colorful, vegetable-filled meal.
it's a great point.
Yeah. So we also love carpaccio so much.
Carpaccios. Shout out to Nick, but Nick put us onto some uku carpaccio in Hawaii, and that freshness flavor is
It's
like
such
really,
a nice switch up.
it's so light and so
Yeah.
clean. It's beautiful. Fantastic eating fish though.
Yeah, I
All
am
sheep
so
said
surprised.
are dying moving forward. I think I said this earlier, but I wanted to see what a big one tastes like. See if it has a little bit higher fat content. Maybe the meat stays together a little bit better, but
Yeah.
fantastic.
There's no problem with this.
0, yeah. All right, we're gonna polish up the rest of this beautiful dish. Thank you guys for staying to the end, watching our videos. Make sure to check out our Indonesia documentary where we go to Indo and shoot a bunch of doggies. We got a bunch of Hawaii stuff out now. But welcome to the family. This is the start of the Dolmens, and we're stoked to have you guys right from the beginning. So stay tuned for some more California content. The water's warming up slowly, and we should be getting some yellowtail and white sea bass making their way into depths accessible to freedivers. So we're stoked for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.